You're excited, huh? Hello, Karen. Can you see my eyes? Can't hear me.
All right, everybody, how are you doing? Welcome to Step Out of Your Comfort Zone. I am so excited about this evening. The theme for tonight is breaking the chains. Let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, this is a very special night. I am so honored to have such an amazing guest with me tonight. Somebody I've known for years and know how talented she is and watched her do her thing in front of huge crowds and live out her tags, her talents, abilities, her gifts, her skills, and it's just been a blessing. But you know what? There's a story behind everything that we see publicly, right? And so she's a person that understands the importance about stepping outside your comfort zone. And so that's what I hope you gain from this conversation tonight. Remember, our three pillars of stepping outside your comfort zone is pivot, action, and consistency. No matter where you are, you can make a decision right now. You can make a decision tonight, listening to Karen, hearing her story, something that you hear, or even something that you read inside of the chat room to cause you to make a pivot, turn, do something different, go towards something that you're really passionate about. You have this amazing opportunity to make a pivot and take action. Sometimes what keeps us inside of our comfort zone, and the comfort zone is known as a place that it can be a great place, but no growth happens there. The comfort zone is also known as a dead zone, right? There's nothing good about staying in there. You got to get out. Life is about taking the risk. Life is about going out and experiencing more. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever felt like at some point in time in your life that there's got to be more? Have you ever felt like that? That you just know that there is more to life than what I've been getting. There's just got to be so much more. And that's what we're going to explore tonight. We're going to have a conversation with such an amazing, talented individual and find out what tips, tools, and techniques she used to help her get outside her comfort zone. And this is real conversations from real people, right? So this is absolutely amazing. So if you're joining us, wherever you're joining us from, go ahead and type inside the chat room where you're from. I see we have Harry the Big Dog from DJ Interview checking in inside of the chat. It's always good to see people that are out there and living their dreams and doing what they're absolutely passionate about. And you remember Harry from last week from the DJ Interview hanging out with us. He's there in the chat. Get a chance to connect with him. He's somebody great to know. Is just definitely a great alliance to have in your life to help you begin to move forward. So tonight we're talking about breaking the chains. One of the reasons why I'm so excited is because you get to see behind the scenes. One of the things that when we talk about stepping outside your comfort zone, I try to encourage people to write that book, sing that song, create that cooking show, start going live and doing videos, getting your tags out there in front of the world. So Karen is one of those individuals who sings that song. She's one of them that she's not taking it to the graveyard with her. She's leaving it all out here for us to experience and enjoy. And here's something I found out about people like Karen, is that when you do what you're gifted, you're talented, when you start doing those things, you help other people break out of what's been holding them back, whether it's fear, insecurity, whether it's trust issues, whether it's some type of trauma that happened back in the day, some part of your life, whatever that is. When people step out and do what they're talented in doing, it can help pull you out. It can help you be able to take that first step. So that's what we're going to explore. That's what we're going to talk about tonight. Do me a huge favor wherever you are. Let's give a round of applause. I'm going to bring my good friend up, and we're going to get a chance to meet her, learn more about her. Let's give a round of applause for Karen Bryant. Everybody, let's give it up. Coming in to step out of your comfort zone family in the living room. We don't have a red table. We got a red logo. Hey, Karen, how are you?
Hey, Chris. I'm good. How are you?
Hey, I am doing so fantastic. I am so honored that you accepted the invitation and that you are here tonight. Karen, the voice, Bryant. And so we're going to have people joining us in the chat. We'll probably entertain some questions from the chat, and we'll just have a conversation and talk about how we can get outside of these comfort zones we find ourselves in. How does that sound to you?
Let's do it.
Hey, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. So let's kick it off. Tell me a little bit about who is Karen Bryant.
Well, it'd be easier for me to do that if I had figured that out myself. I'm still in the learning process. Still learning process. I'm still evolving. How about that?
Hey, I know how that is. I know how that is. That we're all still evolving and doing that. But you have your hands in so many things. What kind of things are you doing? Because what kind of things are you doing to keep yourself busy?
Well, I'm a single mother with a bunch of teenagers, and that's enough right there. But in addition to that, I sing and perform and record. And in addition to that, I am a full-time college student. Woohoo.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's a lot to have just on one plate.
Yes, my plate runneth over. My saucer too.
Right. So we have this saying around here. Let's gloss over that, right? So, but we're not going to gloss over. We're not going to gloss over when you said you sing. You are known as Karen the Voice Bryant. Where did you get that name from? How did that name come about?
Um, Originally, I had a friend of mine. He did spoken word, and we would perform together sometimes. And I don't know, just out of the blue, one day he said it, and it just kind of stuck. So I tried to get rid of it, but no.
That would be hard to do with the amount of talent that you have. That's all I'm saying. I know that would be hard to do with the amount of talent that you have and the things that you have done, especially there's a lot of people that know about you. There's a lot of people that know of you. Matter of fact, you just released some new music recently, correct?
I did. It's been out a week ago today.
Wow. Tell me about that project. What's the title of it? What was the message behind it?
It's a single, and it was written by William Green and Regina Troop. And they asked me if I would sing it. So knowing who they are, that was a big deal to me. And the title of it is My Only Love. And it's about just that, just your adoration for that one, that one person in your life. So yeah,
That
it
seems
was
very that seems very important now, especially during the pandemic and being in close quarters with people, maintaining that type of focus on that one that you do love.
and sometimes you don't have a getaway, so you may not feel like you love them that much. So you may want to listen to that song.
The love could change in close quarters like that for over an extended period of time. I
You
get
love from a distance. You go to the other person.
What has it been like singing or performing during this pandemic for you?
Um, Initially, I'll be totally honest. Initially, I exhaled
Mm.
because I wouldn't have to sing. You know what I'm saying? Just kind of take a break for a minute. Um, Please don't ever not cross any nothing negative, whatever in the universe. Let me just clarify. Um, After performing so often, it just felt good to just breathe for a minute, you know. And then after I caught my breath, it was like, you do know that that's how you make money is by so how do you plan on, continuing the prosperity if you're not actually working? So yeah, it was kind of shaky there for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
And I figured, like, hey, I've been through worse. So if I made it through that, this right here will be a piece of cake. And once I stopped worrying, actually, it got a little better. School was a little more hectic than life. Switching from being on campus to just totally online. And it's at the time I was doing an audio program. It's a little difficult to do audio, you know, online when you can't actually touch the speakers and the mic cables and the mics, and you can't really don't have access to those things physically. You can't go in the studio and learn how to um, set up or EQ songs, or it was just a lot more difficult. So then I switched to entertainment business management, and
Wow.
that's a challenge because there's a lot of research that goes behind that part too. But it's easier to research online than it is to EQ music. So yeah.
So let's talk about that for a minute. So you have a singing career. The pandemic hits, and you're going to school, What kind of brought that decision on to step out, raising the family, having a career already, and you add going back to school to the whole mix? What caused you to step out and make a decision to add that into your world?
Momentary insanity. I don't know. Something happened. Something just clicked. You should go to school. Oh, I could do that, couldn't I? Yeah. So then once I went to just get a tour, that was all I was going to do, was just take a tour of the school. And when I left an hour and a half later, I was a student. Yeah.
Wow. So it all started with a tour, but you made a decision somewhere to step out. Was it a part of your vision that you saw a bigger vision and said, okay, well, in order for me to make X happen over a period of time, I'm going to need this in my background, or there's some things that I need to learn and understand to make a bigger part of the vision? Or was it more of an unction and saying, hey, this is just something I'm probably going to want to pivot and do?
It was more of I didn't foresee anything. There was no plan at all whatsoever. And I don't know if it was an unction. I don't really know. It came for a moment, and I just kind of said, yeah, well, let me check out the school. And went to hear what they were talking about, the different programs that they offered. And I was like, wow, that would be wonderful. I could learn to do this. I could understand that. I could have more knowledge when I sing, what this does and what that. That fascinated me. That fascinated me because I love knowledge. I love learning. That just it does something for me. So yeah, my interest was piqued. I went ahead and signed my name on the dotted line, and I was a student. And then I started to look at what I could do with the knowledge. I just wasn't ready for all of the homework and yeah, I wasn't ready for all of that.
I could imagine when it all starts coming in. So, is there a connection with school and the singing?
Actually, yes. Like initially, I wanted to take the knowledge of audio engineering to other singers. I wanted to teach vocalists like how the importance of where you stand on the stage, and the importance of not singing or trying to outsing mic'd instruments. That you needed, like a monitor or something in front of you so that you could hear, have them turn down, and then learn the language so you could actually interpret or give your message to the audio engineer, because we don't know a lot of times how to tell them what we're looking for. It's like, okay, turn this up, turn up the lows about 3 dB, turn down the highs about 2. They will understand that, but as a vocalist, a lot of times we don't know that. And honestly, if you have that knowledge, you gain a little more respect from those on the stage with you. So I
I
wanted to
wanted to
do
do
that.
that
So
so
we
we
wouldn't
wouldn't
be
be
just
just
looked
looked
at
at
as,
as,
oh,
oh,
she's
she's
just a
just a
singer.
singer.
You
You
know,
know,
you
you
get that
get
a
that a
lot of
lot of
times.
times.
So
So
yeah, I
yeah, I
wanted to
wanted to
pass that
pass that
along.
along.
And then
And then
as
as
I
I
got
got
further
further
into
into
the
the
education,
education,
I
I
felt
felt
like
like
it
it
was
was
not only necessary for us to know that, but how you carry yourself on a stage and the perception that you give of people, give to people of yourself. And um, just learning how to, because I was never taught how to perform and how to engage the audience. I never was never given that information. So I'd like to take independent artists and help develop them into where they want to go, not necessarily like what I see, but what they see themselves doing. So, yeah,
yeah.
now I'm
Now I'm
here.
here.
What have you seen in some of those other artists? Because you have a history of stepping outside your comfort zone, right? And like most of us, you have a history. We all have a history of being in a comfort zone at certain points in times, and then we step out. So sometimes that comfort zone could be like a revolving door, right? So you can step out. Sometimes life go out there and beat you up, smack you up, and you go back, you go back in, and then you look around outside, start running back out there, getting back in your dream and your goal again. What do you think it is that, from what you've seen in other artists, what do you think it is that keeps some of them locked inside of a comfort zone and never kind of step out and introduce themselves to the world?
Um, I think
I
you
think you
mentioned
mentioned
it
it
before.
before.
Fear.
Fear.
Mm.
I
I
think
think
that
that
would
would
be
be
the
the
main
main thing.
thing. Fear of what other people think, how other people see you. Because, okay, so you notice there'll be times when, especially on some of the music shows like American Idol or The Voice or whatever show it is, there's someone who has been told by lots of friends and family that they could really sing until they get out there, and you wonder what ears they were listening with because the person is missing several notes and a lot of stuff. So um, when you have people behind you that encourage you, it's a little easier. But sometimes you don't have that. You have fear of what people will think, or um, that goes in hand with your own personal insecurities. So that'll stop you a lot of times
Times
from
from
doing
doing
anything.
anything.
Yeah, it's easy to get sucked in, especially when you're talented, you're gifted. It's easy to get sucked in to how your gift is being received, or I don't know, I don't know if that's as challenging as it is accepting your gift. So let me ask you, because I know you're super talented, and the people that heard you sing, they know you're super talented. And by the way, Maria Luisa Hill inside the chat, she says, love her spirit. Oh, she just loves your spirit, which is amazing. Maria is an absolute champion. Hey, so, but I know when you have a talent and you have a gift, um, you don't, sometimes it's tough to gauge. You don't even look at your own talent as being really good. It almost looks like, everybody does this. Everybody's like that, and that can stop you as well. That mindset, right, preventing you from being able to pivot and take action. Now, in your experience, working with other artists or even yourself, do you see most talented people have that internal struggle and battle with their own gift and also with how their gift is perceived from other people?
I think we all um, in the music industry, I think we all have internal battles. What level, I'm not sure. So I can only speak really from me. I don't like the spotlight. I've never liked the spotlight.
You're gonna have to
I will.
explain that. You're gonna have to explain that because people that have a talent like yours, how do you not like the spotlight?
I've never liked the spotlight. I if I sang in the choir and I could sing with everybody, oh, it was fine. I sing all day and twice on Sunday. Well, 4 times on Sunday, as a matter of fact. I used to do that. But when I was asked to come up front, terrified. It's just, don't look at me. If I could turn my back and sing and you couldn't see me, I'd probably be good. But no, I just never liked the spotlight. Um, it's honestly fear of judgment. Yeah. Uh, um, because people being in the spotlight is such a heavy it's such a heavy place. It can be very lonely. You're there, and to some people, it seems like, you're on top of the world. You've made it, out front, and you hold your own. But when the music stops and the lights are off, who's there with you? Like, who do you turn to? Who can you relate to? Or it's I don't know. It becomes very lonely sometimes. So I've just never wanted to be up there.
That's real interesting, Karen, because I felt it when you said it. When you how you could fear your dream turning out exactly the way you want it to. Right? It's like, oh, I want to be on TV. Oh, I want to be the superstar. And then you get there. Let me ask you this. Have you ever felt this? I know I've felt this before. Like you had a dream or a goal at one of your milestones and you was like, oh, this is it. I can't wait till I get this. And then you do it and then it's kind of like, it's like a letdown. It's like, it doesn't fulfill what you thought it was. You thought it would be like the end all be all, and it turned out like it really wasn't it. And then you just still had to find the courage to move on.
For me, it was I when I got there. It was, what do I do now? Um, because I have to maintain this. So I've reached a level, and what do I do now to maintain this level? Because now there's more work and there's more pressure, and it's more that comes along with it. You know how you've heard in church forever, new level, new devil. Uh, Pretty much the same thing. So when I started singing, like singing in the choir, it was fine. And then it's like you see certain people sing or come up front. You're like, oh man, her voice is beautiful. I just wish I could sing like her. It would be awesome to go and sing, like that, be out front. And then I got called out front. It was like, oh no, oh, I'm separated from everybody that I was with. And then some of the people really separated, literally. Like you're now up front, so they're not with you anymore because you're not one of them. To them, you're not one of us. You've moved on, so we're gonna move. And then you're like I said, it's lonely. You don't necessarily. I didn't feel like I really fit in with the ones that had been singing um, or leading for ever, what it seemed like to me. I didn't fit in with them because they've been doing it so much longer than I have. They have so much experience. They know one another. I'm the newbie. So where do I fit in now? I can't go back with them who I was with before because they don't accept me. But these new people don't accept me either. So what's my place? So whatever level you go to, there's more. For me, it's just been more discomfort. I guess I just learned over time to deal with the discomfort and learned to make adjustments within myself so that the discomfort wasn't a hindrance. It didn't stop me or keep me from doing or furthering my growth.
Come comfortable being uncomfortable. It's kind of like when you learn how to play golf. So when you learn how to play golf, one of the first things you have to do is learn how to swing the club. And a lot of people are just, I don't know if it's just people like me, you swing it, you think you got to swing it like a baseball bat, right? And it's not that way. It's a certain way you have to hold your grip that's very uncomfortable. But while you're holding it and it's uncomfortable, a good golf coach will let you know then that's exactly where you need to be. You have to learn how to be uncomfortable. You have to learn how to be comfortable being uncomfortable. Jason Hodge put in the chat, at every stage there's a new obstacle to overcome. And he also mentioned he heard you sing, and he said that it's amazing how God has gifted you with that voice. It's amazing how
Oh,
God has gifted you with that voice. Yeah. So Jason also he has another question. He says, "How do you go about mentoring those who come behind you so they realize that there's a process to this? It's just not sprinkled upon you or happenstance, like I woke up like this, that there's a process to all of this. How do you go about mentoring people like that?"
wow. Can I say that I don't really see myself as a mentor? Is that I mean, I'll talk to anybody. You can tell me, you can ask me anything. I'll talk to you. I just really haven't seen. Wow, I haven't seen myself as a mentor. Oh, that's scary.
What was the relationship like? I'll let you uncover as much as you want to uncover about, like, because your children sing.
Yes.
You have some phenomenal singers you raised, so you can look at it from that perspective.
I think they just saw me, and we would sing around the house, and we sang in the car, and then we would go into harmonies in the car. I mean, oh my goodness, we just had so much fun doing silly stuff. Like, I'd wake up in the morning and go in the morning, turn the lights on, and they're pulling covers and pillows over their heads, and I'm singing, "Get up, get on up, get." I'm dancing around, clowning in the so they were so used to that. We're in the car, singing like the song "God is in Control." We turned it into Georgia State Patrol, Georgia State Patrol, Georgia State Patrol. We just did stuff like that all the time, so it wasn't unusual, and I didn't see it as being anything foreign when they sang or played instruments, or because music was in the house all the time. I guess I would tell anyone who is in music, whether it's playing an instrument or singing, just find you. Don't try to be anybody else. Like, you were created an individual, so you don't have to be like anybody else. Just find your lane and stay in that and grow there. That's the best advice I think I could give.
I love that, because how did you find your voice? How did you find your voice?
I'm still finding it.
Mm.
Actually, I'm still, it's like I said before, it's evolution. I think I started to listen to some of the songs that I sang, and some things resonated with me and some things didn't.
Mm.
That was a beginning, and then I felt like if it didn't minister to me, I really couldn't minister it to anybody else. Even secular songs, if it just didn't minister, if it wasn't tugging at my heart, then I couldn't really effectively sing it to anybody else.
Mm.
So, and then I learned to sing things that in a way that it was comfortable for me, instead of trying to imitate the way somebody else sang it. You know, that was difficult because I was comparing me to them, which brought about a lot of insecurities. So I just had to learn and tell myself, and still do sometimes, have to remind myself that I'm me. I'm not them. And I can only do things the way that I can do them. And whoever it's supposed to reach, whoever it's supposed to minister to, whoever it's supposed to bless, I pray that they're there to hear and that they're receptive. And I
And I
just
just
have to
have to
let it
let it
go
go
from
from
there.
there. But I think that's truly a part of the process, though, because one of the things it's called a model imperative, that it's imperative for you to follow somebody to model after, not duplicate or replicate or be them,
Right.
but you have to find somebody to model after. So I love that process that you just talked about, where you may start out singing just almost being like the person that you're modeling after, but then you begin to find your voice and to begin to find the different shades and tones and textures,
Yes.
how you add in there, and then your voice comes out. But you can't do that if you stay inside the comfort zone. You're gonna have to step out in order to find your own voice. How do you feel about that?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
agree
agree
completely.
completely.
And the
And the
scary
scary
part
part
is
is
wondering
wondering
what
what.
others think of your interpretation of a song. If you're covering a song that's already been recorded and you don't do it exactly like, because I don't know many people that can hit all of those Patti LaBelle notes, um, or those Shaka Khan notes as high and as strong as they do. So without tearing up something, and in the music world, longevity has its place. You want to keep this. There's only one. You only have one vocal system. There's only one, and you destroy that. It's not like you can go to the music store and buy another vocal cord. That's it. You can get some repairs done to it, but you have surgery. That doesn't necessarily mean it's going to operate the way that it did initially. So you got to be
Be
mindful
mindful
of
of
that.
that.
So
So
from
from
there,
there,
I
I
knew I
knew I
couldn't
couldn't
do
do
all of
all of
that
that
stuff
stuff
for
for
long
long
periods of
periods of
time.
time.
So I
So I
had to
had to
practice
practice
and
and
learn
learn
how
how
to
to
sing a
sing a
song and
song and
then
then
get
get
over
over
myself
myself
and
and
just
just
forget
forget
about,
about
what
what
people
people
may
may
say
say
of
of
my,
my,
like I
like I
said,
said,
interpretation
interpretation
of
of
that
that
song
song
and
and
just
just
do it
do it
my
my
way.
way. I
And
like
it's
that.
that's
It's
still a
still a
process.
process. Yeah, I don't think the process ever ends, right? I think it's a continual.
No.
It's a continual. It's always something that we're going to work on because we just know how it is. I mean, if we're honest about it, like we can find ourselves reaching, stretching, and striving and going for something 100%, then something happens, whether it's something in your control or outside of your control, and cause you to just park, right? You park on your gift. Or someone, I remember hearing about how a negative comment from someone you love impacts you multiple times greater than somebody that really didn't matter to you. So when
Yeah.
you hear that, it can cause you to go into park. It could push you back inside your comfort zone, right? Even like now, how some people try to step out on their comfort zone, and because they don't get the views, they don't get the numbers, they don't get the metrics, right? They say, you know what? I ain't doing this. Forget it. And go park their dream. Has there ever been something that caused you to go park, like you're going for it, and it caused you to go back in that you can share with us?
Man, I
Man, I
just
just
quit
quit
last
last
week.
week.
What are you
What are you
talking about?
talking
I just
just
quit
quit
last
last
week.
week. Rehave.
I do this. I don't want to. I
I
don't
don't
want to
want to
record.
record.
I
I
don't
don't
want to
want
go.
to.
It's
It's
so
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 there.
there.
It's
It's
so
so
much
much.
stuff behind the scenes in music. It's crazy. There's so much work that has to be done. So I promise you. Listen, anyone who is starting to do this, you need a team. Oh my goodness, please develop a team. Get people around you that's going to help you with a lot of this stuff because doing it all alone is a daunting task. It can be very overwhelming. And I was I was my photographer. I was developing my CD cover. I was developing my website. I was like doing about 10 things and it was crunch time because I was supposed to have the single duplicated and have the all the information on the back with who's on it, like the players in the whole thing, and have them inside of their cases and all of that stuff, have it all prepared and ready for a show in North Carolina on Saturday. Now, mind you, it was Thursday evening, I think, when I actually went and picked up everything. But then you're supposed to put the CDs in the case, the insert in the case, and then you have to do that 100 times. I didn't make it. I didn't get it all done. I was just happy that I had the CDs. Still, and the website still isn't up. I had to stop beating myself up. I am my own worst critic. So there's nothing that anyone can say about me that I probably haven't already said about myself. It's just it's a lot. And I was thinking I'm crazy for doing this again because the last song I said I'm not gonna do this anymore. But here we go one more time. And then I just left Tuesday left a songwriting session for another song that I'm working on. Oh my goodness! That's why I said I've said before that I don't have music. Music has me. Like I'm all wrapped up because as soon as it's almost like giving birth. I promise you, it's very similar to giving birth. Like you go through all of the agony, the pain, the physical, the anxieties. You're going through so much. Your body's changing. Oh, you go through so much to bring a child into the world, and you're thinking while you're having the contractions and all that stuff, man, I'm never gonna do this again. This is the most painful thing ever. I never ever wanna, yeah. And then a year later, you're back at it. It's just all it's like you forget once you hold that child and start loving on them and um, pouring into them. They start to develop. You see all these wonderful things. It's the same thing with music. You go through all of those things. You're not sure of yourself. You're doubting. No one's gonna like it. Nobody wants it. I can't. How do I get this out? I don't know what I'm doing. And then the song is here, and then you hear it, and then people are receptive. And you're like, okay, well, I can do this again. Yeah. So this past week the single was received pretty well, and yeah, here I am again, starting on another one.
Yeah, because you can't divorce that dream that's in you because it'll wake you up. Even like when you try to quit, people will be asking you to sing, or you get invitations to sing, or there's just something that's gonna happen. No matter how far you try to run away from what you do, it will find you. An opportunity will find you somewhere, and then you do it, and you feel those juices flowing again, right? It's kind of like, I know whenever you get a chance to do what you love, that's like a place of safety. That's like a refuge, right? It's like you find your strength there, and then you experience it. I guess it's almost similar to a drug, right? Where you always start chasing that feeling again, right? Because that's where you're supposed to be. There's no other place like being there, So what helped? Go ahead.
Then I ask questions like why? Like why? Why am I doing this again? Why do I don't want to do this? But there's something on the inside that's greater than the fear or that anxiety or whatever it was that I just went through. There's something on the inside of me that's greater that keeps pulling me. So
Yeah,
yeah, I guess glutton for punishment.
I think it's because it's connected to your purpose, though. There's the calling, right? There's some people that may never listen to anyone else, and amazing things happen through songs. Like we was talking about this in Harry's DJ interview, on his DJ interview community, on how most of us can hear a song and it could take us back to special moments in our lives. it could take us back. Oh, that artist, the way the person sings that, right? So it's just like I remember you had on your. I'm not gonna play it. I want to, but I'm not gonna play it. You put a challenge out there. You said, "Hey, put a song in here you want me to sing, and I'm gonna sing it." Right? And I put Black Butterfly, right? And so, and you did it. You did the challenge. And you don't know this. You're just finding out this now. From that day to now, you singing that is a part of my rotation every day of the things that I listen to get myself
Add some
motivated
music to it or
and
something.
going.
Oh my goodness.
Hey, and Harry and Jason's inside of the chat, and I played it for them. Matter of fact, Jason just said something in a chat. He said I could listen to Karen's voice all day. Amazing
Oh,
vocals.
okay.
And that's what he's heard. And I sent your song to them from the YouTube video to them today. But that Black Butterfly, it marks something in me. The words, it just
I love the word.
it inspires me. So people can always connect that. So you're connected to that. When you sing, it's healing the people. It's inspiring the people, right? So, and Francis Reeves in the chat, she said, Prophet Jeremiah said, it's like fire shot up in my bones. You can't run from it
Yeah.
because you're a part of someone's dream coming together. You're a part of someone stepping outside their comfort zone.
Hmm.
It's a big responsibility to be
It
so
is.
talented.
It is very much so. Yeah, I love words. There's so much power in words. So, like I was saying before, I started thinking about what I was saying. There's a message um, in music, and we have to be responsible and really think about what it is that we're putting out for people to hear, because words can either drive or draw. You can drive people away or draw people to you, and or drive them from something good into a negative situation, or draw them into good away from something negative. So we got to be careful. And I started thinking about a lot of, songs that, saying that it wasn't really a big deal before, but when I started thinking about people that are actually listening to me, what do I want them to hear coming from me? I don't want to put negative out because I don't want to get negative back. Um, and that was such a big deal to me. So you mentioned Black Butterfly. I just remember listening to that song like when it first came out. It would just make me cry. Just thinking about, the generations of the lyrics of sail across the water, tell your sons and daughters what the struggle brings.
You go ahead and
Uh,
sing it if you want.
no, that's okay.
Okay.
And it's just you think about, okay, so you think about our history, and how we didn't write things down. We didn't have that system of passing on the story in books or maybe on walls where, you drew, the different cultures they would have in the caves where they drew different things so you knew what was happening. Well, we told stories. And then once we were separated and our tribes were in different places, we lost that. So that song brings that back to mind for me. And I think the breakdown in us is that we don't share that stuff anymore. So I'm just really thoughtful on the message. And like I said, if it doesn't minister to me, then I really can't effectively minister it to someone else, whether it's just about God or it's in church, or if it's something that's just inspirational. It doesn't necessarily have to be a particular religion. I think it just should cross. It's something that everybody can feel. Everybody feels love. Everybody's felt hurt. Everybody's been disappointed. Everybody's longing for love and acceptance. So we can all relate to those things. Why not pull out that positive and encourage? Okay, so I'm not going to preach anyway. Portia.
So, but now you're going down a place. I do want to get an answer to this though.
Uh oh.
You, we're gonna go there. So, we
Don't make me
talked.
cry, Chris.
Hey, no, when we talked earlier, you talked about how sometimes that when you ask yourself why me,
Mm-hmm.
right? When you look at the gift, the talent, you can see the impact that you're having on people, and you ask yourself why me? Why did you give me this gift? Why me? Talk about that because I think that's going to help other people get outside their comfort zone because they can think, well, I'm not doing anything with this gift. Why did I get it? So, talk a little bit about your experience with that question.
I didn't do anything with it at first. Um, and again, that was out of fear and out of insecurities because I compared myself to other people that sang. So I always thought that everyone else did it better. Whatever they did, it was better. Just not having, I guess, the encouragement or confidence in myself. So why do it? And then when it came to opportunities for me to sing, I would still say why. Like, why is this in me? Or why do people feel like I can sing? Honestly, it wasn't until my nephew talked with me. I was working a job and there were some people who knew that I sang, and I was actually working teaching Georgia pre-K, and I was saying in the classroom, and we would have meetings sometimes, and they would ask me to sing different things. Or then people started asking me to sing at churches and stuff, and church events, and I did not like it. And I would talk to God and I don't like the spotlight. I do not like the spotlight. Why are you doing this? Came down to it, long story short, I lost a job and I had no other income, and an opportunity to sing with a band opened up. I went to a karaoke thing with some girlfriends, and it was a couple that had a band. They were there. They heard me, gave me their information, told me Saturday come to rehearsal. So I came out to their house, went to the rehearsal, and that was that. Um, but I still preferred, I sang background for her, which was perfect for me. Um, and then she said to me, well, as long as you continue to sing background, you'll get background pay. Um, yeah, yeah. So that was,
Hold up, that hurt. That hit me. That hit me in a special way. You said you gonna keep singing back, or you can get backup pay. Oh
yeah.
wow.
So yeah, that was my wake up call. And I knew then that I had to overcome the fear. I didn't have a choice. I was put in a position where I didn't have a choice. I had to provide for my family. So what was I supposed to do? You know? Um, and then it goes back again to talking to God. Like, why? Why am I doing this? What is the purpose? I can't understand it. I don't like the spotlight. I don't want to do this type of thing. And my nephew came in town. He performs, well, he used to perform on Broadway. He went to Juilliard and became a dancer, singer, performed with the very first Color Purple, toured with Color Purple. He's just phenomenal. And he came by my house and was talking with me one day, and he said, "What's in your heart?" I told him I love singing. I just didn't want to do that, and I wasn't working, but I needed to know, like, something, give some type of direction. He said, well, what's in your heart? He said, whatever's in your heart, do that. So I had to actually sit down and talk to myself and found that, yeah, music was in my heart. It is something that I wanted to do, and I just had to get over myself and push that fear aside. And if that was the way for me to begin to take care of my family, um, I needed to, like you said, step out of the comfort zone and make it happen. They were more important to me than my fear. They were to me than my fear.
That is such a strong statement. I don't know if you ever heard the story of Nat King Cole. I don't remember all the specifics, but that he was playing music. I think it was like a blues bar or something. He was just playing music, and there was supposed to be another act after him. I guess to play jazz or some of the different genre. And so the owners came up to him and said, "Hey, we want you to start playing. We want you to start playing this genre. We want you to start playing jazz music." And he was like, "Hey, I'm not that type of artist." He said, "If you don't start playing that music, you ain't gonna get paid." So that night he became a jazz singer.
I can relate.
He said, "Okay, I'm gonna become that jazz singer, right?" And that reminds me of this quote from forgot the guy who said it, but he talked about when he talks about courage. He said that that's what courage is. That there's something greater than my fear that causes me to take action. You know, that your family eating was greater than your fear of doing this particular thing. And you have to take inventory and look at your life. What could you attach yourself to that's greater than your fear? What's bigger than that? Right? Getting gas in your car, putting food on your table, going to the type of school you want to go to, your kids' school, getting it for them to be able to do that. So those things are important. So let me ask you this, Karen, as we start to wind down the interview, what kinds of things you do or you have done to help you begin to step out your comfort zone? What helps you get beyond that, other than what we just was talking about, like that courage and that fear? What else can you that you do to help you begin to take those steps?
At some point, I had to take a step back, um, and I had to start learning me and who I am, and getting comfortable with myself, because I couldn't really expect other people to like me if I didn't like myself. I couldn't expect people to accept me if I didn't accept myself. So, um, once I started doing that, I don't know, it just became easier. It was like, um, the perception that other people had of me just really didn't matter as much anymore. So, that was the biggest part. Yeah, I became happy with me, and I don't know, it just really didn't matter as much if other people weren't as happy with me. I mean, there's some who would be, but there's some who wouldn't be. So I like me, and that was that became. It's like the song "Greatest Love of All." Learning to love yourself is definitely the greatest love of all, and I like me. I can spend time alone with me, and I actually love me. There's some things that still need, I'm still working on some stuff, but I'm loving me through the process.
I love that. I love that. And I feel that. I feel that from you. So have you so where do you think you are in your journey with staying out of your own way? Where do you think you are with that part of your journey?
I'm so much better. But I don't think I'm even close to the end, because I think I have so much further to go. And grow um in my as I grow in this career, um there'll be other things, other challenges that I'll face, and other things that I have to learn. So, um yeah, but the best part about it is that I actually, instead of dreading it now, I look forward to it.
I love that. I love that. Because you have to embrace those challenges. They're not going to go anywhere. And that's where that true growth happens, right? I really love that. So, Karen, how could people get in contact with you? How could people hear your music? What are you what are you up to next? What are you promoting? What could we do to help you in this in your on this part of your journey?
Just
Just
send out
send out
all
all
kinds of
kinds of
positive
positive
vibes,
vibes.
please. Just,
Just,
say,
say,
help Karen, she's going to be wonderful. Just, yeah, put all that stuff out there. Just remember, laugh, love, um, just, yeah, just love. Love yourself. Love those around you. Okay, as far as hearing me, YouTube, Apple Music, iTunes, Spotify, Tidal, all of that stuff is Karen Bryant Music. I'm on Twitter, I'm on IG, I'm on Facebook. Um, yeah, and pretty soon I'll be all over international. I'm working towards that. Um, if you hear, yeah, please stay in touch with me because I'm working on a nonprofit to help young artists and young ladies learn about entrepreneurship so that they don't feel that they have to work for someone else. It's not that there's anything wrong with that, but that's not the end all to be all. And you can take that money that you gain from working for someone else and turn that into uh, an opportunity to build your own business and your own legacy. So it's not just about ladies, but I'm going to start there because there are a lot of programs they put up, developed for boys and young men, and I think ladies are kind of like pushed along the wayside. So yeah, we are. Um, and we should learn, okay, honestly, and not judging anybody, but we should learn that there's more to us than videos. Put it like that. You don't have to be scantily clad on a video and dance in order for you to become famous. There's so much more to you as a young woman, and I want to get that out there. So please, let's, if you got ideas, I've never done a 501c3. If you know any help, please reach out to me because I'm stepping out of my comfort zone there with that also. This is totally brand new. I've never done that before. So I'd love as much help and insight and knowledge as you can give. Contact me.
The creative idea is because a lot of people are doing their like nonprofits, they're doing their events online. They can bring you in to be the guest artist online for their online conferences and all those kind of things as well, right?
Yes.
Yes,
That is
yes.
that is awesome. So go ahead and give out your email address or what's your like Instagram. What's your tag on Instagram so people could go out there and find you. They can find you on Facebook because they could just click you. Jason or Harry, could you go ahead and put her information in the chat for me? I think Jason posted your YouTube already in there. Go ahead and put like her links for me.
Yeah, so it's Instagram is at Karen Bryant Music. Facebook is Karen Bryant Music. Twitter is Karen T Music. Somebody has Karen Bryant Music already. I don't know how, but that's already taken. So it's Karen T Music on Twitter. And no, I haven't stepped up to TikTok and what's the other one? I'm not on that yet. Yeah, that one. I'm not there. I'll get there eventually. Just, hold on. Keep hope alive.
Fantastic, fantastic. So, as we get ready to close out, I want you to do me a huge personal favor and just look into the camera. And I want you to talk to people that may be inside of their comfort zone and just give them an inspirational message, some encouragement to go ahead and step out, take action today. Take action today and begin to do whatever it is that's in their heart, just like your cousin asked you, what's in your heart. So can you go ahead? Can you give them an inspirational message, some encouragement to go ahead and step out?
Real quickly, just do it. Like, don't wait any longer. There's something on the inside of you that's greater than you. Don't let that scare you. You are greater, and you'll never know what you have, who you can touch, what you can actually do until you step out and do it. So leave that fear alone. Go ahead, grab that strength and keep it moving, man. There's so much life out here to be lived, and you're missing it by sitting back in a box. Step out.
Man, I love that. I'm gonna play that every morning. I'm gonna play that every morning. I'm gonna play that every morning in my world. Karen, thank you so much for coming on Step Outside of Your Comfort Zone, honoring my request. I am so glad that you did. Bless me. You've always been a blessing to me, and I listen to you every morning, especially Black Butterfly is part of my rotation. And I look forward to it. Anytime you want to come on and step outside your comfort zone, hang out with us, always have an open invitation. Consider this your home. You got some really good people that love you. They got all your information inside of the chat for us. So that is fantastic. So don't go anywhere. I'm gonna put you back over into the green room. So hang out for me as I close out this part of the show.
Okay.
All right, everybody. I hope you had a fantastic time. Oh man, I thoroughly enjoyed this moment. Some really great nuggets. One of the biggest things I'm walking away with when Karen shared what her cousin asked her, what's in your heart? I'm asking you, I'm challenging you to look deep and ask yourself what's in your heart. Whatever it is in your heart could be the solution to everything that you're challenged with. It could be the solution to getting from where you are to where you want to be. I'm challenging you to pivot this week. As a matter of fact, you could pivot tonight and take action and just apply consistency to get from wherever you are to a more desirable place. I want to personally thank everybody who joined us inside of the chat, hanging out with us. Thank you, champions, for hanging out with us tonight. I'm honored that you took the time, stepped away from the football game or the news or whatever it was and came to hear some things that are empowering and encouraging. This broadcast will be replayed several times in the group. Share it out, like this particular video so we can get more people to watch it and comment. I would greatly appreciate you doing that. And I look forward to seeing you at our next Step Out of Your Comfort Zone interview. More things to come. We're going to have absolutely an exciting time. Thank you, everybody. God bless you. God bless the day you were born.